are stories that connect us to ourselves and each other. These stories reveal who we are and show us the many vivid, wild colors of our truth. Welcome to Soul Wanderings, where we raise spiritual awareness and foster connections through these shared stories and personal experiences. And now, exclusively on KGRA Radio, I give you your host for Soul Wanderings Radio. Here's AJ.
Hanging out here on the one and only KGRAradio.com, heard throughout our universe every Wednesday, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. And each week we get to wander with a new guest about their authentic experiences through this human journey. It's so awesome to have you here with us tonight for our live show. Thank you for being here. My name is AJ Rasmussen, and I co-own with amazing co-owners, and I manage a heart-centered healing space that's called Vibes, Mind, Body, Spirit, and it's there where I get to assist others in their personal journeys in healing the mind, body, spirit, and the heart. And I'm also your host of Soul Wanderings. Tonight, before we begin, many of you have heard the news, and I just wouldn't feel right if I didn't take one moment to honor this fantastic human. Stanton T. Friedman crossed over on Monday, May 13th, and I know a lot of you have had great experiences with him or have followed his work in ufology. He was the man who broke the Roswell story and continued sharing his research and knowledge with the world in a factual, to-the-point way. And to be honest, I knew of his work briefly. However, I was able to meet Stanton last year where I asked him if he would like to hang out with me and visit. And he happily agreed. Lucky me. It's there where in my normal inquisitive ways, I started to ask questions about who he was and about his personal life. And I asked him a lot of questions about who he was as a person, what he and his family were like, what his family was like. And we totally soul wandered about the love of his life, about his family, and some of his childhood. And I was in awe over this man who everyone spoke so highly of. Some were intimidated by because of his greatness, and so many looked up to him for his straightforward approach to the truth of it all. And here I was, just having a soul conversation with him. It was a moment I have treasured and will continue to do so, not because of his passing, but because it was a moment that was memorable. He showed me what it was like to be humble, to be genuine, and sincere. And I feel that Ray said it best, and I quote, "Science got it wrong, but I think Stan got it right." He was a genius in his own right. I am so thankful for our time together, Mr. Friedman, and for being a gentleman and an example to us all. If you are listening live with us tonight, make sure you guys hop on over to the chat room hosted on KGRAradio.com. I hang out there and grab your questions that you may have for our guests. If you do find yourself wanting to ask a question, you'll want to be there too. And you can do that by going to kgraradio.com/chat. Also, fun fact, tonight I have goodies to give away, but only if you're hanging out in the chat room. So I hope you guys find yourself there with myself and the other wanderers. Our guest tonight is a health and spiritual coach, a Reiki master teacher, light language communicator, psychic medium, and energy guide, just to name a few things. She's much more. Rachel BluFox Aaron is here with us to share her latest communications with the Palladians, talk about blue water magic, being a key holder of the 4 directions, and also meridian clearing. Whew, that's a lot. But there's going to be more, trust me. Hello, Rachel. Welcome back to Soul Wanderings.
Hello.
By popular request, mind you.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, you're back. Hello.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Well, thanks. I'm happy to be here.
It's always, I get the honor of hanging out with you all of the time. We have some good times together.
Yes, we do.
However, it is your last week at Vibes for a while. Officially, unofficially, officially.
Yeah. Right.
You're off on to new adventures. So before you journey onto the next chapter, I wanted to snag you so you could be
Right.
here in studio with me.
Right, because, I mean, when I come back, I'm just going to be spending time doing sessions.
Right.
So
When you come back. I want that for the record, everybody. She's coming back.
I'm coming back.
A week, every quarter-ish or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
It'll be awesome.
The goal.
Rachel is definitely the most booked practitioner I have, and there's a reason why. She's no joke.
Nope.
So for those who didn't hear her episode, you were here visiting us with us in October. We were talking about hauntings and things like that.
Yes.
Share a little bit about yourself as a refresher.
So I was born and raised here in Utah, and I've always had gifts. I just didn't know what they were until I was older. I mean, I would tell strangers all about like what's going on in their life. I could feel people's pain. I could I had really bizarre dreams. I would hear different different languages, and they weren't languages that I'd heard on Earth, but I understood them, and I'd hear those in my mind. And I saw lots of ghosts. I had a couple people that talked to me, and they weren't talking to me with their mouth. It was all telepathy, and these are people I didn't know, but they would tell me stuff. Sometimes it wasn't good stuff, and sometimes it was good stuff. And so I had an experience where I died and was given a choice to either stay or leave, and I chose to stay, and that's when all my gifts really started kicking in. And so I dedicated. I left my job from 17 years of doing hair and started focusing directly on doing energy work. So I'm really fascinated by the subtle body and the advanced systems of the subtle body. So, yeah, I'm super nerdy about it. I mean, I have to like really, really kind of dumb it down. I mean, not that people are dumb. It's just I'm so in it that I will talk about technical terms, and people are like, I don't even know what that is.
Mean? Yeah.
So, because I'm really fascinated by the science, I want it to be applicable. If people can't see how it applies to the physical body, it's useless. You can have something that's interplanetary, but if it's not applicable to the human body and human mind, they can't grasp it. Mm-hmm. So I get I get to be lucky and deal with both the etheric or the higher realms and also the human understanding. So it's really cool.
It is really cool. You go deep.
Yes.
I've had the opportunity to have a few sessions with Rachel. And when I say you go deep, you really do. When it's not that I didn't understand the process of what you were doing, but the in-depth part of it, the nerding out, if you will, as you put it, really is something I can feel you're completely passionate about and very, very knowledgeable about. And I do want to get into the meridian clearing you did with me, and I know we'll be talking about that. But the most recent session that I had with you, you were speaking a different language.
Yes.
And I wasn't laying there going, what the heck is this crazy girl doing? It felt oddly comfortable. Like, not that I've heard it before. It was familiar. It just felt just really comfortable and reassuring that what you were doing is not just being pulled out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Energetically, it was tangible and very real to me.
Yeah, the light language is amazing because it speaks to you on a cellular and a DNA level. So it's actually a communication that it doesn't have specific words. It's more of a feeling that you get with the communication. And I'm up to about 10 different dialects that come through, and some of it's from the Pleiades, some of it's from the Arcturians, some of it's from I actually got to communicate with dragon energy. I know, and it's not something that I'm really familiar with, but it came through and it was really cool. The interesting thing is they're teaching me a lot about vibrational and sound therapy by using using the second set of vocal cords that we have. A lot of people don't realize that we have 2 sets of vocal cords. We do.
I had no idea.
We do. And it's interesting because the vibration, I mean, when you hear throat singing, that's the activation of the second set of vocal cords. That's why it sounds like there's 2. There's multiple people when it's just one person making the sound. And they're actually teaching me how to balance and clear areas of the body, not just the major chakras, but the more lesser chakras that are important because they're the pathways that lead to the chakras, which are on the meridians. So it's really cool. It's cool.
That's your nerdy self. It's so cool.
It's so cool.
Actually, it is quite fascinating. It really is. Way over my pay grade, way over my level right now. It's just because I don't understand it. I'm sure if I sat with you for some time, several times, I might pick up on it a little bit.
I've spent hours and hours and hours studying the meridians and the chakras.
Let's start with the meridians then, because we do have a lot to talk about these next 2 hours. And a lot of them are abilities that you have or I don't want to call them gifts because we're all gifted, but
right.
You know, you do have these abilities to do some things that not your average person can do, which one of them is meridian clearing. So tell me about that.
So I started teaching 2 years ago. I started teaching Reiki, and I started really looking into, because there's a lot of information that's kind of, it's been lost, or they just are not quite sure on like a lot of the origins of Reiki. And if you're to go online, you're going to see like 6 million different ideas of where Reiki came from, and everyone's ideas on it. Well, I started really looking at the foundations of it, and there was always a thing that bothered me, because when I've done energy work, when I close my eyes, I can see the subtle body, and I kept seeing these lines, and sometimes they were filled with like, it looks like static, and I would just reach in and I would move it, and I knew exactly where to move it, and I'd move a lot of it out of the arms, and I move a lot of it out of the legs. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at all of the foundations of Reiki, and I kept thinking to myself, what is Boysen scanning? What means disease line scanning? But I was like, what lines? What lines are we studying? So I started looking into ancient practices, you know, like your martial arts, qigong and stuff like that. And then I discovered the meridians, and my guides told me, yes, you need to teach people about the meridians. They're vital. You basically need to open up and clear these channels to allow the ki or the chi or universal life force energy to flow through you. But if they're blocked up, you can't flow as much energy. You can't store as much energy either. So I started really getting into the meridians and discovered how each meridian is tied to our organs, and each organ generates a specific emotion. And these emotions get lodged in certain areas of the body. And the most damaged meridians I see, the most common damaged meridians I see is liver and gallbladder and lung and large intestine, and that is anger and sadness. So,
which makes sense.
Yeah, those are the 2 most messed up. So, and liver and gallbladder get congested due to stuffing emotions and or not expressing anger properly. the other thing is a lot of people don't deal with sadness or sorrow, and the body's smart, so it tries to go to the opposite, and that's anger. So I see a lot of correlation between the two. But the biggest thing that I noticed, because I'm a guinea pig, I won't do any of the energy work on other people until I've tried it out on myself, because I have to see it. I have to actually experience and see the work done before I'm just going to go work on people, because I have to have that information to be like, yes, this works, this doesn't work, this is how it should be done, this is how I feel, so I can give people a little bit of a baseline. Well, I've body built for years and years. The biggest thing that I noticed when I started clearing my meridians is all of a sudden I never got DOMS, which is delayed onset muscle soreness. The muscle soreness in my muscles went away.
So you're able to actually provide the energy work on yourself.
Yes.
Interesting.
So.
And actually feel it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we can do Reiki on ourselves. I get that. But just being like a guinea pig, if you will, on yourself, but just like, how are you to know what that feels like, right?
Right. Well, one of the biggest things is I had a year where I couldn't lift at all. I couldn't do any sort of exercise, even yoga. I would get these massive migraines. Well, I started running meridians, so I started running what's called the triple burner, and I started running gallbladder, and I started running bladder, and a lot of them. So the triple warmer and your gallbladder, there's a ton of points in the head. And I'm not lying about this. I literally ran those meridians twice, and the migraines went away.
No way.
They went completely away, and I was able to just start lifting again. So
we obviously are having. Can you hear that beep?
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know, but just ignore it. I don't know what's going on.
I thought it was people messaging you. I was like, dang.
No.
They're blowing you up.
No, I'm just sitting here. I'm a little distracted because I'm like, what is going on?
You're good.
Because it went away and then it came back and it was more consistent. Anyway, carry on, my darling. Carry on.
So the other thing with the I started noticing was the grounding aspect of opening and clearing the chakras. So you have your kidney and your bladder, and both are in the feet. One flows up, one flows down. And I noticed when I would run the bladder at the very end, all the stuff that I would pull up, it would clear and put it into the earth. And the other thing that I started noticing is...
It did it automatically?
I just would feel everything rush through.
Because I know when we do energy work, we actually send it to the earth to be recycled.
And I mean, that is what I did.
Oh, okay.
But I could like tangibly feel the buzzing and it like just moving down.
Awesome.
So it was really cool. The buzzing in my hands and my feet also, it's like an output of energy that I feel consistently ever since I started working with the meridians. And not only is that tangible, my stamina is better, I sleep better, I can lift triple what I was even when I was competing in bodybuilding. I don't compete anymore, but I lift more with less effort.
Just from clearing the meridians.
But I mean, it's a consistent thing. I have to do it I have to work on it every single day. I have to keep myself in check. I mean, it's just like, if you brush your teeth, you have to maintain your energy body. Also, I have to do, meditation and really tap in and access the energy. I mean, it's not something that you can idly just all of a sudden like, oh, I cleared my meridian once and now we're good. I wish that's how it was, because I actually did slack and the headaches started coming back.
So that's with any energy work, though. You can't just do it once and then you're good to go, because we're constantly picking up other energies or having other...
Absolutely.
I don't want to say issues, but issues in our body or experiences, things like that. So it is something that you would consistently need to do regardless.
Right, especially if you have an unbalanced emotion. Mine happens to be anger. It's just...
So are you one of those people who believe that your physical symptoms begin because of emotional ones?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, other than, if you fall down and you whack your knee, I mean, obviously, you have physical, but I, from all the work that I've done and all the experiences that I've seen, having an emotional blockage within the body leaves you more open to an injury and or illness.
Mm-hmm.
The areas that got injured on my arm, I tore my tendon on my thumb when I was competing. And there's a bunch of acupoints there that all related to all this stuff that I was having the biggest issues with, which is sadness, sorrow, letting go, releasing. It's the lung meridian. It's metal. And I had issues with my wrist. I had so much pain in my wrist from 22. And I did hair. And I just thought it was from doing hair.
Mm-hmm. And
I started running the meridians and clearing out, which would be the pericardium. And that spot in particular is relationship problems. If you're going to go to the acupoint, that's exactly what it means. I started clearing that and actually dealing with what I dug up in that meridian, and that pain's gone. I've had that pain for years and years and years.
And it's gone just
it's gone.
That. So you talk about digging up. Does that mean you have to dig up those experiences that you've had or those stories you keep telling yourself and actually looking at them and healing them?
Yes.
And letting them go?
Yes. It's not like, I know I make it sound like, oh, you just clear it out. Now you actually have to deal and understand why there's a blockage there. You have to do a lot of the self-work, and that's where a lot of your meditation and understanding, getting the body-mind connect going and saying, unconsciously, we're consciously holding on to this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like our body is a big, intricate, fleshy computer. And sometimes we have junk programs that run, and then it's our responsibility to look at, why is my RAM so congested and the computer's running so sluggishly? Why I got all these files that are running that are nonsensual? I need to start deleting them and dragging them to the trash file. So it's the same thing. We have points in our body where we store, and it's never different. So I've applied this to people, and it's never different. So I started with what's I referred to it as the advanced chakra system, and I had no idea what the meridians were at the time. And I discovered that always in the knees, your left side is always going to be mom, or the representation of mom, or the feminine. Your right knee is the father. And that's where a lot of people store a lot of their issues. Knee pain. I've had hundreds of clients come in and they're like, this knee hurts all the time. And we start addressing parental issues, and the pain goes away after a couple sessions.
It's incredible. I love energy work for the amazing magic that it is.
Yes. And if I didn't see it, and that's the thing is people are like, well, how do you know it works? I'm like, I've seen thousands of people, and it's never different. It's always the same. And if the people do the work and they're ready to start healing and diving into it, which if they're there getting the work done, they usually are. I mean, you get the few people that they just don't work on it, and they don't resolve the problems. But it's interesting how sick you can get from emotions, but it makes sense to me because emotions are energy. You can't see them.
Right.
But it is proven. I mean, even in Western medicine, emotions will make you sick. If you're over worried, you get sick. If you are over stressed.
Stress is a killer.
Yeah. If you're overly angry. Angry people usually have chronic migraines. Or people that don't express emotions well, you get chronic migraines because anger rises and it ends up in the head. And if you don't release it, it just builds and builds and builds and builds. So
energy, it's all energy.
It's all energy.
When we get our head wrapped around that, we can literally heal our bodies.
Yes, it's pretty awesome. And I wish I would have known about it like 20 years ago.
Right. But then what would you be without those experiences?
Yeah.
Cliche, but true, right?
It's true. I wouldn't be able to help as many people because I wouldn't have had to have dealt with pain. I would just been like, oh, you're just being a boob. I don't know.
I don't know
what's wrong with you.
Well, I want to talk more about the advanced chakra system that you brought up because I know that has a role in the meridian clearing as well. We're going to take a quick break. So when we get back, let's dive into the chakra system and how that correlates with your energy and meridians and all of that good stuff you're talking about.
Okay.
We will be right back, guys.
Hey, KGRA family, are you looking to show the world that you're a true believer? Well, shop now at thesaucerbrand.com. They've got something for the whole family. Jackets, hoodies, shirts, and hats, and so much more. And now's your last chance to use promo code KGRA for $10 off when you spend $50 or more at thesaucerbrand.com. Your new source for official and authentic ufology-inspired essentials made right here in the USA. And don't forget, use promo code KGRA at checkout and get $10 off when you spend $50 or more. Believe in style and elevate your craft at thesaucerbrand.com. And for those of you going to Contact in the Desert and Alien Con this year, Saucer will land at CITD May 31st through June the 3rd, and look for them at The Alien Con June 21st through the 23rd.
Join me, George Norrie, in Indian Wells, California, for the 7th Annual Contact in the Desert UFO Conference, May 31st to June 3rd. Contact in the Desert is an epic weekend of adventure filled with exciting explorations into ancient aliens, human origins, crop circles, UFO sightings, disclosure, and the newest evidence of ongoing contact. This amazing weekend offers over 50 lectures, 40 workshops, 8 exciting panels, special events, and a luncheon that I'm hosting. Contact in the Desert also features leading experts including Giorgio Tsoukalos, David Wilcock, Linda Moulton Howe, Michael Tellinger, Eric Von Daniken, Doc Wallach, and many more important researchers and scientists in the field. Contact in the Desert is your place for inside information. Join us at thecontactinthedesert.com to get your tickets today. It's time to make contact. That's contactinthedesert.com. Don't miss it. Contactinthedesert.com.
Hi, it's AJ from Vibes, Mind, Body, Spirit. Have you been searching for unique items to create or add to your sacred space? What about tools for your holistic healing? Or those one-of-a-kind magical ingredients to manifest your desires? Well, look no more, because Vibes has a variety of items to assist you in your spiritual journey. From crystals to candles, incense to books, tapestries to jewelry, OnlineVibes.com has what you're seeking. We even have some thoughtful and mindful gifts to share with your friends and family too. Visit us at OnlineVibes.com from the comfort of your home, or give us a call at 385-244-1099 to have your order beautifully packaged and sent directly to you or a loved one. And right now, take advantage of the coupon code KGRA at checkout to receive 15% off any order. Remember, online, VIBEC.com.
When I have an asthma attack, I feel scared. It's kind of like an elephant is on my chest. I feel like I'm choking. Sometimes my parents have to take me to the hospital.
You know how to react to their asthma attacks. Here's how to prevent them. Visit www.noattacks.org or call your doctor, because even one attack is one too many.
I feel like a fish with no water.
Brought to you by the EPA and the Ad Council.
This is Richard Dolan announcing a new exclusive content website, richarddolanmembers.com. I've been working on this for a long time. Unique weekly podcasts that you won't hear anywhere else, fresh articles and blog posts, a special video series entitled Off the Cuff with Richard Dolan, regular Ask Me Anything style live chat sessions, and more. This is a full-featured member site where you will get my insights, my updates, and be able to interact directly with me. To learn more, go to richarddolanmembers.com.
We are the contact for alternative research topics. The Planet, KGRAradio.com.
back. You're listening to Soul Wanderings, hosted here on KGRAradio.com. Tonight we are hanging out with my gal pal. She's my friend.
Hi.
Our guest this evening is light language communicator Rachel BluFox Aaron. Where did the BluFox come from?
So it's kind of funny. I do art.
Right.
Well, when I really got involved in this stuff, I kept drawing blue foxes. They were like, I was literally drawing blue foxes all over. And I was like, you know what? That's pretty cool. I'm just going to make that my logo, Blue Fox. That's cool. And for some reason, I was really, really attracted to the color blue. I had dreams about getting a tattoo on my throat of the throat chakra. Mm-hmm. So, I have the blue throat chakra tattoo. And I was just like, that'll tie in great. So I actually didn't find out the last part of the meaning of that name. So the blue I understood was, the communication of the throat chakra, communicating to people, mediumship. But I was like, I don't understand why there's a fox, but I know it's important. Mm-hmm. And so I kept reading up on ancient teachings of fox, and all I kept getting was trickster, or, sometimes they were the path, the way shower, kind of similar to wolf, but it was never in a good connotation. It was they were always tricking people or hiding. And I was all like, this doesn't seem right. Well, my dad went up. He works on hydropower plants. He fixes turbines and stuff on them. He was up in Montana, and he was on site with the Katuni tribe, which is one of the native tribes up there, and they own this hydropower plant, and their logo is a fox jumping.
Oh my gosh, how cool.
And my dad was like, this looks just like my daughter's logo. And they were like, oh, well, because we are producing energy, and foxes represent energy. And I was like, oh my gosh, I know exactly what this name means. It means communicates energy.
How perfect is that? That makes sense.
Yeah. And I was like,
it's totally fitting for you.
I was like, okay, this is what I do. I communicate energy, whether it's with my hands or with my voice or by just being.
And you are a fantastic communicator, by the way.
I try. I try.
Even in languages I don't understand, you're really good at it. So before the break, you were talking about meridian clearings, and you brought up the advanced chakra systems. Mm-hmm. I'm sure many of us are familiar with the chakras, or at least the main 7 or 8. So tell me what exactly is the advanced chakra systems, and what does that mean for us?
So we have a lot of chakras that are the sub-chakras that tie in we'll call them ley lines. So even though that's what the meridians would be, but you have chakras along that area also. So you have your 7 main that most people know. You have knee chakras. You have actually a chakra that in between the knees. You have a chakra that is 7 feet below the feet that plugs us into the crystalline meridian system of the earth. We have soul star. You have your Akashic chakra. You have 15 that you're going to commonly use. I mean, depending on how high you actually go within your system. But from what I have studied, there's 25 or more, because we're going into multiple dimensional stuff once you get way far. And that's way beyond me. But, you have hand chakras, you have chakras in the elbows, you have chakras, and they're referred to as the keys, which is your collarbones. You have what's referred to as the mouth of God, and that's what actually activates and taps us into all of our unseen sensory gifts. So just like we have our seen sensory gifts, touch, hearing, taste, scent.
So more like our clair abilities.
Yes, so it's all your clair abilities. And what it is the back part of the third eye, and it helps tap in and access and bring light into the pineal gland. We have chakras all over the head. We have many by the ears. We have many by the throat. There's tons down the back. I mean, it's really cool. So the one thing that I noticed though, when I started, before I knew about the meridians though, is I started tapping into the advanced chakra system, and I started learning a lot about how we will stop ourselves from being able to outpour from soul essence. So I look at, we reside within the heart, not the mind. And so if we block our true soul expression from the heart, it's going to be seen in the shoulders. And this was like a common problem that I saw when I started tapping into the advanced chakra. And so I would go in and do a lot of work with like accessing and opening the keys and releasing this energy. Well, the interesting thing is there is an interjecting meridian there it's the spleen meridian. And what disrupts that is overthinking and worry. And it interjects and actually crosses through that. And that's actually, so overthinking, anxiety of being who we are, anxiety of reaching out to the people that we love, anxiety about accepting love. It goes in and it blocks and it lodges itself up through that area. So you can't have that outpour of soul expression. So the advanced chakra system helped me actually start piecing together all of the things that we were doing or allowing to have done either subconsciously or consciously. So a lot of people also, they have lots of pain, like in the traps and in the shoulders. And what that is in a subconscious shrug of the shoulders. So you don't have that outpour of energy. So we'll shrug everything up. So we collapse inward to protect the heart chakra or soul expression.
Wow, that makes complete sense. And so many people have that pain.
Well, it's because everyone's afraid to be who they really are.
Yeah.
Our society,
afraid to open up.
Yeah, everyone's afraid of just being themselves. They're also afraid of being in the moment. Everyone's on to the next moment. So
everyone's in a rush.
Yes. And so we overload also too many burdens in the shoulders, over worrying, over stressing. You know, you can't flow. You can't be just yourself and be a full expression of the self when you're on to the next moment. You're not even thinking about what you're doing in that moment.
Right.
That's not
you're
really
not
living
in the present moment.
Right.
Yeah. It's like in a conversation too. I've noticed I'll be talking to people and I can tell like they're looking at me, but I don't know if they're like in the moment, like listening to what I'm saying rather than thinking about what they're going to respond with.
Yeah.
Or they start responding before you've even finished.
Yeah.
It's a lot like that.
Yeah.
Not just conversation, but, you know, running around.
Yeah. Just being very unaware of.
Yeah.
You're just on to the next. So.
Energy really is an awesome tool if we allow it to be.
Yes.
It also could be so detrimental in the same regards.
Well, that's why
Case in point.
We have so many problems now is everyone is very disconnected from the energy part of themselves. They're disconnected. I want to, this is what I always say is I'm like, we're in the emotional dark age. We're not out of the dark age. People are like, well, the dark ages were then. I'm like, no, we're still in the dark age because there's so much on a conscious level that we're not accessing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
if we weren't in the dark age, we would not be still stuck in 3-dimensional.
Right. Exactly. That's why this work is important. So we can become 5D. Let's go. Let's do this.
Let's head that way, people. Come on, get the program.
It's a lot of hard work, though. I that's why a lot of people, this isn't for the faint of heart. There's a reason why people don't just jump into this work because it's hard. It's very hard. You have to do a lot of inner looking and saying, "Oh, I'm doing this.
Right.
Oh, I'm allowing this. Oh, this is something that I'm refusing to release." And then accepting the responsibility. And not only that, but understanding what it's teaching you and then integrating it into the body. So,
yeah. And to look at ourselves that way and authentically receive the information without taking it personal or being defensive about it. That's a whole other thing in itself.
Yes, absolutely. And that once again, that's not allowing yourself just to be you because you're taking offensive. You have to defend who you really are. That means you don't know who you are because if you know who you are, you don't have anything to defend. You're just, you're going to be you in that moment.
Exactly.
That's what this work does. It frees you. It's really cool. And then it gets really kind of crazy because you start walking around and it is like the Matrix. It's like you unplug from the Matrix and all of a sudden you're just like all this conditioning and all this stuff that I was allowing getting trapped in my body. it was so useless, but I lugged it around thinking that it held so much importance. And now that I've offloaded it, I'm so free. And it's amazing.
We put so much importance on those things too. And really the reality of it is none of this is important.
Yeah.
None of it is. I was listening to an Alan Watts video, probably on YouTube or something. I just put him in the morning when I'm getting ready. And he had made a statement that obviously this is just a dream for us. That's his belief, that we're just here having this dream. And that even trying to fix ourselves or heal ourselves is nonsense, because we're just here for the school. We're just here for the experience. There's nothing to fix. We're exactly how we are meant to be, the experience and all. So that really resonated with me, because when you and I were having our energy healing, you said you need to go back to this time and date, not specific, but back to this time where this part in your body was triggered, this emotion was triggered, causing this meridian to be blocked here. And I was like, I don't see the point of going back to that exact time and reopening, like pulling the Band-Aid off. Like for me, I just don't get it. I know you're saying that's something that needs to be done in order to move forward, but because I'm going to be little devil's advocate over here, some of us might not believe that. What would you say? Is there ways to get around your process, your healing process, or moving forward if you're not wanting to tear that Band-Aid off?
So if you have...
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you have... So when we're born still interconnected. You have countless stories of children that recall previous lives, or you can just see kids are looking at stuff,
right,
laughing at things. So we're born basically like a blank slate. Well, you start making these decisions about who you are from the traumas or the ideas that are put on you by parents, siblings, and the very few people that you're surrounded with. And you make those decisions and carry them on into your adulthood. And a lot of this stuff is subconscious. And so I want to say, yes, there's an easier way to bypass it. But the only way that you find out who you really are is you strip away all the stuff that was told to you or put on you in order to realize this isn't me. This is what I was told and I accepted as me as a child, and I've carried it on into my adulthood.
Okay.
And the reality is you have to do that work, because what you're doing is you're basically, without looking at it and saying, this isn't who I am, but this is who I was taught that I was, or how I was supposed to be, it's going to continue to remain. I wish I could say, yes, you can bypass it, because trust me, there was a lot of stuff from my childhood that I was like, I don't need to deal with that. I'm just going to not deal with that. And it didn't get better until I actually sat down and actually said, okay, I have to do this work. I have to sit down and actually look at why I feel this way about myself, and realize that it had nothing to do with me. And that was what was really cool, is it was actually really easy, because I was like, this didn't have anything to do with me. This is stuff that I was told, and now I can let it go, because it really didn't have anything to do with me. It had everything to do with other people's perception. There's an awesome quote from Jay Shetty, and he says, I am what you think I am. And you can't change other people's ideas of who you are, because they've already made the idea of who you are. When you come to this world, your parents already have ideas of who you're going to be, but that's not who you are. But your parents are going to tell you who you are. Society is going to tell you who you are. But until you actually strip all that away and look at yourself and say, none of this is me.
Right.
And these ideas that you told me about me, they're all lies, because that's not me. I know who I am. And it's none of this stuff that you guys have told me that I am. So I can't say that you can bypass it, because that's part of the experience. I mean, it's like, it has to hurt if it's to heal. You have to go through the pain and realize that you accepted those things into your life and said, yes, this is who I am, and that you've carried them on into your adulthood and accepted them. But the reality is you don't have to accept anything.
You don't.
You don't have to accept anything.
But there's so much pressure for us to accept what is.
But is it really what it is?
Right.
That's
exactly.
What is
exactly.
it?
Is it? I don't know. Is it? We can play this game all night.
That's where you get really deep. That's where like you can get sucked down the wormhole, you know, and then I'm all like, oh, okay, I'm getting way far into this. So I wish I could say I have all the answers on that too, because everyone heals in their own way. And, you know, you can't say that there's like you have to do this work at this time in this lifetime, because you know what? Some of the work you don't finish in this lifetime.
Right.
We're always in such a rush. I have to do all this stuff in this lifetime. And it's like, no, you really don't.
You really don't.
You don't have to do all this right now. You're just learning, you're collecting information. When you're ready to deal with it, you're going to be ready to deal with it.
That's one thing thank you for sharing that. That's one thing that I've noticed in myself recently is not that I'm in a hurry to get things done. I just want to get as many things done as I can while I'm here.
Yes.
So I don't want to hurry and do it half-assed, if you will. I really want to put some effort into it and get the full experience. But in the same regards, there's just so much to do. And we never know how much time we really have. And so there is this sense of urgency within me that I'm like, oh, I got to go. And then lately I've had reality checks like, girl, you need to chill. Like just be present in the moment and enjoy everything that you're experiencing right now, because it obviously is exactly the way it's meant to be. It's perfect just the way it is. Everything is in divine order. And I always say these things, and it's so cliche when I say them over and over and over, but it's really my truth. Everything is in perfect timing. What's your rush?
Yeah.
Like you can't rush perfection, right?
Right.
So
the same goes for, you know, if you don't want to deal with those ideas that you made there.
Okay.
No one says that you have to do it.
Right.
It's just a suggestion. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes total sense.
You're in control of what it is that you experience. You know, you can give people advice because you know that it worked for you, but they have to ultimately look at it and say, you know what?
Right.
Yes, this is something that I need to do. And if they say no, you have to honor that. So that's part of my job's really important. There's a ton of people that I tell them stuff that they don't want to hear, but I'm being honest because it's coming from soul. This is coming from your soul saying, if you do this, you're going to do much better. How many of us really listen to ourselves half the time, though?
Really?
A lot of us are just like, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. And then we're like, yeah, pretty much not going to do that. You know, it's like you're sitting there thinking, oh, you know, here is some fruit or there's a piece of chocolate cake. I'm going to pick the cake half the time. I know that it's not as good as the fruit. But that's the beauty of being able to choose whatever you want. Right. That's what's awesome about it. And either's wrong. What if either choice isn't wrong? You're experiencing something from the chocolate cake or you're experiencing something from the fruit. It's not good or bad. It's just an experience.
They're two different experiences. Which one do you want to have?
Exactly. That's what's awesome about it. That's what this work does is all of a sudden you just realize I can't make a wrong decision because either which way I'm going to learn something. And I know that I can make it easier on myself if I choose certain things. But, you know, I want to learn it the hard way sometimes.
I'm really good at that hard way.
I am too.
I think I learn better when I take the hard way.
I think most of us do.
Not that I want to always have those experiences, but hindsight, you know.
But that's the other thing is,
either way,
we have to not beat ourselves up over that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's the other thing is we always are like, oh, I didn't do this right, or oh, I ate that cookie yesterday. You know, I'm gonna have to run on the treadmill like 5 extra hours, and it's like that. You really don't. We need to just.
It's gonna be okay. You ate a slice of cake. Big whoop.
Yeah. We put too much weight on stuff that's so non-sensual, and it's just. What it is it's a distraction. When what we need to do is we slip up, we make the mistake, move on.
It is a distraction.
Yeah. We're really good at being distracted. That was actually information that my guides
Thank you for
told
bringing
me.
that up. I love that you brought that up. That's another thing that's been a common theme around people I've been with lately are the distractions.
We're really, really good. So whatever you train yourself to do, you could become very good at. And most people nowadays are very, very good at being distracted. And if they actually took and flipped that and used it to concentrate on things that they wanted to do, like their passions, imagine what they could do. But everyone just really loves being distracted. Being distracted's fun. I mean, I spent a lot of years being really distracted, but you also, I mean, if you really want to learn a lot, you have to maintain a fine balance of being distracted and concentrating on what it is that is important in your life. You know, a lot of people always, one of the biggest things that I see is relationship issues. You know, well, so-and-so, they just don't pay any attention to me. And I'm like, well, they're distracted. They're doing this and they're doing that. The relationships and deep connections are just not a priority for people in our society anymore. Everyone's too distracted. Well, I have work. Oh, I have this.
There is that I'm too busy thing too. That seems to be like everyone has to be really busy.
I'm guilty of it.
I know, but the having to be really busy, like it's a thing. Like you're really cool if you're really busy.
Yeah, and it's actually it's not, because we're missing a lot of stuff, and that's why everyone's so miserable too, because there's no deep connection, because everyone's just too busy being busy or distracted, and just they're not actually connecting with people. Because the other thing is everyone's really emotionally traumatized. So we become really good at distraction because we don't want to deal with the emotions. What's the best way to cover up an emotion? We'll just not pay attention to it. Chocolate cake, TV, the phone, whatever it is you choose, you know? Yeah. And the funny thing is you have everyone pointing at each other and saying, well, that distraction's worse than this distraction. The reality is this is all the same. You want to do drugs or you want to eat cake? It's all distraction.
Video games.
Yeah.
You want to.
It's all choice of distraction. So.
Yeah. Those distractions, they'll get you.
They will. That's something that's been a big thing that's been coming through with my guides, though, is they've been talking about how we're chronically distracted. Chronically distracted. And that's why everything's falling apart, too. People are so disconnected from nature and each other that everything's just kind of falling apart because everyone's so distracted. They don't even realize it's happening. And then all of a sudden they're going, oh, whoa. What happened? So that was one of the big warnings that was given to me from my guides.
And we'll talk about some of those messages that you've received in the second hour for sure. Another thing I want to talk about in the second hour is your communications with the Pleiadians.
Yeah.
That's exciting to me.
It's super awesome.
Especially because, you know, I had my Akashic reading recently and I'm supposedly from there. I've also had conversations with people since then, and they're like, yeah, there's no such thing. You know, everyone has an opinion, of course. Of course.
You have to experience it before you're going to say that it's...
So it's neat that other people are aware, and that's their truth, because I know very little about it. And so for me, I'm in that education phase to find out what my truth is. So I want to hear all about it. I want to hear about all the things. That's really exciting to me. And you guys, you'll want to stay close. We are going to be giving away some goodies tonight. I'll tell you more about that after this break. Tonight we are wandering with Rachel BluFox, and she is a light language communicator as well as many other things. And when we get back, we will hear more about that when we return.
TV All Access presents an original film, The Cosmic Matrix, Science, SETI, and UFOs. The movie that delivers real disclosure. Case closed. UFO TV All Access is available on UFOTV.com, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, Comcast, and download the UFO TV app from iTunes and Google Play. Alien disclosure has happened. Now stay informed. Go to UFOTV.com and subscribe now and see the new movie, The Cosmic Matrix. See the movie and join the revolution.
This is Richard Dolan announcing a new exclusive content website, richarddolanmembers.com. I've been working on this for a long time. Unique weekly podcasts that you won't hear anywhere else, fresh articles and blog posts, a special video series entitled Off the Cuff with Richard Dolan, regular Ask Me Anything style live chat sessions, and more. This is a full-featured member site where you will get my insights, my updates, and be able to interact directly with me. To learn more, go to richarddolanmembers.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Hey, is that a new music app?
Yeah, check it out. Surfer Music Discovery. It links to thousands of online stations, but the twist is you see the song names and artists that are now playing live.
That's different. No guessing. Looks like a waterfall of music.
So many formats. Rock, oldies, country, R&B, jazz, and a whole lot more.
How's that spelled?
Surfer. S-U-R-F-R.
Is it expensive?
It's free. No need to sign up or sign in.
Get the Surfer Music app free from Google Play or the App Store.
Whoa.
The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing.
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Nancy Vernon here with Ozark Mountain Publishing, coming to you from the Ozark Mountains of Northwest Arkansas. We are a publisher of New Age, metaphysical, spiritual, nonfiction books, as well as digital downloads, DVDs, and audiobooks. This is also the home of all of Dolores Cannon's titles. The company was founded in 1992 and has been bringing to you a varied selection of titles covering many different subjects. This year, we have added a new imprint to our company, Big Sandy Press. They will be publishing titles from the genres of historical fiction and nonfiction, paranormal fiction, and more. So be sure to visit our website, ozarkmt.com, and explore all the new and exciting authors and titles coming your way.
For more information about Ozark Mountain Publishing or their events, call 800-935-0045. That's 800-935-0045, or visit their website at ozarkmt.com. That's ozarkmt.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
You are listening to Soul Wanderings on KGRA Digital Broadcasting, Salt Lake City, Utah, and Hudson Valley, New York. You can find Soul Wanderings here as well as many other platforms for your convenience, such as iTunes, TalkStream Live, iHeartRadio, and Spreaker, just to name a few. And I keep telling you guys about the official KGRA radio on YouTube. Make sure you guys are heading over there for the latest show archives. But wherever you're joining us from tonight, thank you. Welcome. We're happy to have you here wandering with us this evening. We are heading into the second hour of Soul Wanderings, and if you have any questions for our guests, we are here. We're hanging out in the chat room, so you still have time to ask, and you can hop into the chat room by going to kgraradio.com/chat. And by the way, let's talk about these goodies. I said that we're going to give away only if you're hanging out in the chat room. So if you guys are there, great. If you're not, head over there, because I have been given by Mr. Race Hobbs and Warren Brigger 3 copies of L.A. Marzulli's book, UFO Disclosure, The 70-Year Cover-Up Exposed, a managed agenda to obscure the truth. So, who wants a copy of this book? Raise your hand. I might not be able to see you, but energy. We're talking about energy. Manifest it. If you guys are interested, be in the chat room. Send me a direct message. Tell me you're interested, and make sure I get your name and address somehow. We'll do that actually next week. How about we announce the winners next week? You guys just DM me. I'm going to put your name in a hat. We'll announce the winners of this giveaway next week here on Soul Wanderings Live. Tonight we are visiting with psychic medium Rachel BluFox Aaron. Hello, Rachel. Welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us another hour. Yeah. So we've talked about meridians and chakras and energy and being present in the moment. And I'm really interested in the last hour of our wandering, because you're going to be talking about light language and communications with the Palladians, blue water magic, what it means to be a key holder of the 4 directions, and more. We'll see where the wandering takes us. So let's start with your communicating. First of all, what is light language, and what does that mean as far as communicating goes?
So light language is direct communication to soul, spirit, energy. It is multiple dialects that carry a vibrational frequency that not only heals us on a genetic and DNA level, but it also fills the light body with more light. It also activates unseen gifts. It's understood on a soul and a subconscious level, meaning even if the person doesn't fully understand it in a conscious level, soul-wise or subconsciously, they absorb the information that comes through via the light language.
It's interesting.
It is, and it's a new gift of mine, so I'm still learning a lot about it.
How did you know that you had this gift? How did you come across it?
So I actually had work. I had a session with an awesome practitioner here. Her name is Kirsta Gunn, and she just took me into session, and she started speaking this language, and I understood every single word of it. She didn't translate, but I understood every single word of it. And when I went home, I started hearing language, and I just felt like I needed to say whatever it was that I was hearing in my mind. And so I just started speaking it, and it was really interesting because when I started speaking it, I actually started crying. And it was like, all of a sudden, it was like I realized that it was something that I understood so deeply that, and I don't, it takes a lot for me to cry. And I literally was sitting there just like communicating this language, crying. And I was like, why? So I messaged her and I'm just like, what is going on? Why is this happening? And she's like, it got activated. And she's like, now you can use this in your sessions. And as I've sat and gone into meditation, I've had multiple different dimensional beings that have came through And I have a protocol where I only allow those that are assisting me. I have a lot of protection. I have a certain protocol that I go through to only allow the right kind of beings to come through and communicate stuff with me. So
right, you would need to make that very clear, because
yes.
any kind of energy could come through when you're open that way.
Absolutely. And it's I have to maintain being very, very grounded, because it's a very, very high. I have to meet halfway with, some of these beings are coming across from, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th dimensions to teach and give me this information, which I'm super grateful, but also I'm listening. And that's why they're giving me the information, is I'm actually paying attention. Once again, I'm not distracted.
She's in the present moment.
So, that's and the other thing is they've also been telling me how just recently there's been they're like, I want to call them portals, but they're like light spots. I guess you'd call them portals, but they're openings where you can access downloads from multiple dimensional beings. But the thing is they were closed and damaged from, we'll just refer to them as meddling aliens. A lot of it has to do with control. They were trying to manipulate this realm, so we weren't getting high communications. That's why this has been missing for so long. But now it's coming back, and there's too many things have began to get fixed, and there's more light points on the earth where this is accessible, and there's more of us who are reaching out and accessing the information now.
What information are you referring to?
So a lot of the information that I get has to do with the work that I do. So
good one, Lib. Sorry. Lib asked the same question in the chat room right after I said that. Sorry, go ahead.
So a lot of the work has to do with my assisting people in the work that I'm doing with the subtle body, the vibrational healing and sound healing, and communicating with the light language, using this expressive soul language and bringing it back to this plane. They've also been giving me lots of information on the other planets that helped bring and create what's we refer to as life on this planet. They're also beings that I've done work with, and I didn't have a full understanding of the information that I was getting. That's what's cool, is now that I have the light language, the information that I'm getting is making more sense. I'm able to put stuff together better. So I can not only give people better information on what they're needing to do in their life, because I'm connecting at a very, very high vibrational soul level, and it's communicating directly from soul, and or whatever beings are supporting the Pleiadians. I work a lot with the Pleiadians, and I knew that I worked with them, but now I'm actually getting deep information on what it is that they're teaching me. I mean, I got bits and pieces, but now it's like I'm getting full-fledged information on what their part was with creating this planet, what part they hold with being interactive with this planet, the purpose that they serve within, our whole huge universe. So it's really cool because it's showing me how interconnected everything is. It also shows me why they're trying to come through, is because the reason why we have so many visitations from multiple alien civilizations is they're not here to cause problems. We do have some troublemakers. I mean, you always have troublemakers and rebels and stuff, but a lot of them are legitimately worried because we're not only destroying ourselves, but we're destroying the planet. And if this planet gets destroyed far enough, it disrupts the other planets, because this is also, they travel on a dimensional level here as well. So if we're disrupted, they're disrupted, and they're trying to support and bring as much assistance. But the problem is people aren't listening. People aren't paying attention. They're distracted.
That's us being distracted. Yeah.
And so those of us that are actually listening, they're giving us information, and they're like, we understand, and this is your learning. So this is part of the learning.
When we have that information, do we have a responsibility to do something with it?
Absolutely. That's how I feel, is I'm very responsible. That's why I take this so serious, is because I am given the responsibility to bring something that's very, very important, especially on our ascension to 5D to the plane. I am responsible with holding this information that is so vital that people need to hear. So, a lot of people will be like, well, don't you feel like you're special? No, I'm not special. I'm responsible. I feel like I am responsible for so much more than just myself now.
Well, anyone could tap into this information.
Absolutely.
Into this source.
Absolutely.
When you say you're not special, I find you very special, for the record. But I know what you're saying. Like,
yeah.
All of us can be, quote unquote, special in this regards. All of us can tap into this energy.
Yes.
How do you know for sure it's the Pleiadians that you're communicating with?
I can feel them. That's the best way that I can explain it. I know. I just know that it's them. They have a specific feeling. They also have a specific dialect. They also usually are blue. I'll see a blue light when my eyes are closed. They're very tall. And I don't know if they're like on a physical level tall, but their energy's tall, if that makes sense. So
they show themselves to you, even energetically, as being tall.
Yes. It's like, and I don't know if it's like they're physical tall or if it means that they are just very large because they hold so much energy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What was that?
The roof is falling in on us. I have no idea.
It's the aliens coming. No, I'm just kidding.
Here's your sign.
They mean business.
They're not messing around. It's time for us to pay attention.
It is, though. No, and that is kind of, they're kind of like, yeah, it's time. Like we need to start realizing that everything's so interconnected. That's like the biggest message that always comes across to me, though, is, and I mean, everyone's heard it a million times, it's everything. We're all one. Anything that I do affects everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to say a consequence, but there is a reaction or action to everything that we do.
Yeah, it's like
and
the
everything.
Butterfly flaps its wings and there's a tsunami.
Right.
I mean, literally, though, if you look at the Earth system and everything, how everything's so finely interconnected, from the sands blowing across into the ocean, it carries it, to the seas, and then it carries it to the, you find sand from across the world in the rainforests. I mean, everything's interconnected. Everything has a ripple effect. The problem is that the ripple effect coming from Earth is not positive. It's more negative than it's positive.
It's so unfortunate because there are so many incredible and amazing human beings here to make a difference. And yet the choice is more times than not to not make that difference.
No, it's fear. That's what's ruling this plane, and that's what this work helps us break through. Is it flips everything into love. Instead of fearing our soul expression, fearing who we really are, fearing what our goals and path is on a soul level, not fearing each other, not fearing, getting wrapped up in labels and names and getting too obsessed with certain ideas when the reality is that's not what it's about.
It isn't. So tell me more about this blue water magic that you said was gifted to you from the Pleiadians.
So
first of all, what is it? And tell me what it's used for.
It is an elemental healing modality. And what's interesting is like Reiki, where you use symbols. You use symbols with this modality as well, which light language actually has a lot of symbols involved in it too. You'll see specific symbols while you're using light language.
And how do you learn what those symbols are?
You just see them and then I draw them.
But you'd have to know what the frequency is or what the meaning behind them are.
I'm kind of getting off subject from the blue water magic. Let me talk about that. That's and then we'll go back to that.
That's fine.
So otherwise I'm going to forget the blue water magic thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I'm just really good at going all over the place.
Yeah,
so
no, you're good. It's just
stay on track, Rachel.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Don't let me mess you up.
So I have information here that was like channeled. So I had information from when I first really started getting involved in this. Me and my sister were just messing around, just sitting there, just doing energy work on each other. We really didn't know what we were doing. We just knew that it felt right, and we were just assisting each other. You know, this is way before I was attuned to Reiki. It was way before I had really dove into this. And it was funny. Me and her got done, and we looked at each other, and we both at the same time said, "I got a scroll." Like energetically, we got a scroll. She was, and we were both like, "What? You got a scroll? I got a scroll too. What? What's going on?" And she was like, "Well, mine's white," and I was like, "Mine's blue." And she's like, "Oh, okay." So, you know, energetically, you know, in my mind's eye, I see I've got this scroll, and I was like, "What do I do with this scroll?" And they said, "When the time's right, it'll unfold and you'll understand it." Well, as I went through the years of, you know, studying this stuff, I got little bits and pieces of it, and I knew it was from it. So some of it was symbols. Some of it was actions. A lot of it had to do with the type of energy work that I was doing with like the advanced chakra systems, the meridians and whatnot. And there were specific symbols. There's a lot of triangles, lots and lots of triangles. But there's specific symbols, and it taps into the element of water. And what it does is it goes and it clears incredibly deep emotional trapped trauma. And when I started using it, I was pulling up like names of kids. Like my one friend, I started going across her arm, and I started pulling up like kids in her second grade class, like names of people like that did minor stuff, but for some reason it caused a disruption. Like very, very small, minute, like either cellular or DNA damage just from holding on to, like, maybe the kid said, "Hey, you look like an idiot today," and she held on to that. She's not going to remember it, but cellular wise,
right,
energetically wise, subconscious wise, she held on to that. And so what it does is it goes through and it clears that. And every time I've used it, people are like, "It's so weird. I feel like I'm on a waterbed," or I feel like there's waves running through my arm. They get cold. They don't get hot. Not like Reiki. They get cool.
Mm-hmm.
So what it does is it cools and it calms down the emotional response. So when I received the light language gift, my scroll also unfolded, and there was a couple symbols that came through. And that's when I started getting more information from the Pleiadians. And the interesting thing is they always referred to themselves as the Council of the Seven Moons. And I was like, okay, I get the Council of the Seven Moons. Well, I started doing some research, and over near Pleiades, where Pleiades is located, is in Greek mythology, there is the seven sisters. And they're stars. But they're not really stars. They're actually beings that assist on the Galactic Council, which is really freaking cool.
It's mind-blowing.
Like, if people realized how real Greek, it's not mythology. They
knew what was going on.
They knew what was going on. They understood very, very well about how much bigger it was than just this little planet. They realized that everything was super connected. And they had really good communications with these beings because they knew they were just as important as we are, where we're very, very short-sighted. I mean, we get so caught up just like...
I feel like we've totally digressed in a lot of ways.
We have.
Yes. Between them and, you know, the Egyptians knew what was up.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people way before our time knew what was going on, and now we're sitting here.
Yeah, we've digressed.
Pretty much oblivious.
We're in the dark ages. We're in the conscious dark ages. We've learned how to build our bodies phenomenally. We've mastered the body. We know the science behind the body. But on a conscious and an emotional level, we have digressed to the point where we're destroying ourselves. We're not just destroying ourselves, we're destroying everything else too. Mm-hmm. And that's why all this work is coming back, is because those who held the keys to it, it's been lost.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of your ancient traditions, they're not carried on. Or they're carried on just because it's just what you do. It's just tradition. There isn't an actual spirit connection there. It's just, we just do this. This is just what tradition is.
It's just what we've always done.
Exactly. But the actual true connection is lost. So the interesting thing is too, is the more I started reading into the Pleiadians, I found out that Plein means to sell. And that's why they're called the Pleiadians. And it's because the element that they brought actually to this planet is water.
Oh, sail.
Sail.
Okay.
To sail.
To sail on a boat.
Like to sail. Uh-huh.
I thought you said sail. Sail.
Like sail. Like sailing on water.
Got you.
Yeah.
That makes complete sense.
Yeah. And so that was their gift. Their gift is water. That's the gift that they are.
Well, that would make so much sense for me personally.
You love the water.
I'm obsessed.
Me too.
And everyone's like, oh, it's because you're a Pisces. No, it's so much more than that.
I'm a fire sign, and I'm way into water.
And I love the fire, too.
That doesn't surprise me.
That's the passionate side of me. That's really, really cool. And when you share this, a lot of people could be rolling their eyes or like, oh my gosh, this girl's whack. But there's so much passion in what you're saying that the energy of it is, to me, is truth. Like, it may be your truth.
Mm-hmm.
I may not know it as my truth yet, but I feel that with you deeply on what you share.
But it's information that I get, and they keep telling me you need to share this information, and it might not resonate with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not my, like you said, and it's not my responsibility to have it resonate with
it's just
everyone.
To share.
It's just to share it because it's information that's given to me, and it's also, it's not dogmatic. It's pretty simplistic. This is what we're giving you. Use it or don't use it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like they're like, use this or you're going to, it's going to be like fiery wrath and you're going to explode.
Here's one of the tools.
Yeah, here's
use
a tool.
It if you feel.
Use it. Yeah. We're gonna teach you this. Use this tool to benefit other people.
Have they offered you any other tools besides the
Pleiadians?
Blue water magic?
No, they've just discussed a lot of like intergalactic, like and this is stuff that's really new to me. It's the Galactic Council stuff. They are just talking about how there's a lot of communications with all the planets that just to keep check on each other to make sure everything's running well. Like I said, a lot of the information is new that I'm getting. So I actually spent a lot more time with the Octurians, and I absolutely knew nothing about the Octurians. And all of a sudden they just came through when I was in meditation. So that's so
you have an experience with them as well.
Yeah, the Octurians. And I literally, this is the first time I've ever had any contact with the Octurians. And I know nothing about them. I knew nothing about them. And all of a sudden I had this very interesting vocalization that came through. They actually don't communicate like in like language. It's like a series of phonetic clicking, and it's almost like Morse code.
Mm.
I mean, if they would come through, like if I could do it, it's really hard to hear. Actually, you have to really be listening very, very carefully. But they gave me a bunch of information on what it is that they are doing in the realm as well. And they actually they've given this information to other people. I'm not the only one that has this information. So they gave me a symbol that's called the fire serpent of trust. And it looks very, very similar to the fire serpent symbol in holy Usui, the holy fire.
Yeah, it
Reiki.
does. It does. It looks a lot like it.
And that's what was interesting, but I've never heard it referred to as the fire serpent of trust. And the information that I was trying to get from them had nothing to do with like Reiki or anything like that. I was trying to find a way of being centered and grounded and not being fearful.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the symbol that they gave me. And so when they showed up, they gave me their names. And when I wrote it down, this is what's interesting, is the one's name was Ilo, and then the other one was Mu'olak. And what's interesting is the K on Ilok has 2 dots above it. And Mu'olak, the second O, has 2 dots above it. Well, I had to kind of look up the information on them because they said, I was like, well, where are you from? And they said, we're near the North Star in a diamond-shaped star pattern. And I was like, okay, I don't know what that is. So I looked it up. I just looked up diamond-shaped star pattern. Well, come to find out, that is a Virgo. I want to say it's Virgo. And there is a red planet there. And what it is it's Arcturus. And I was like, okay, so you're Arcturians. I was like, I've heard of you, but I don't know anything about you guys. Right. Well, there is a star named Gamma. Look how it's spelled. It has the same 2 dots.
Oh, fascinating.
And I was blown away when I saw that. So it's Buotis. And that's a star. It's not a star. It's actually a guide. He's another guide.
How are you looking this information up?
I just looked up star-shaped.
Oh, like on Google or something?
Yeah, I just looked up star-shaped or diamond-shaped star formation, and then it was Virgo, and then all this other information came up, and I was like, I can't make this up. Yeah. I was like, this is so. I'm blown away every time stuff comes through too. That's what's crazy is it's all like I open a door and I'm all like, oh, I know so much, and then I'm like,
then you open another door. Yeah.
What's going on?
Absolutely.
So they started telling me. And I had had some information.
Well, actually, is there a lot more to share on what they've been telling you?
Yes.
Okay, let's take a break here. And when we get back, I know a lot of us are probably interested in what you have to share in that regard. Mm-hmm. So we'll do that right when we return. How's that? You're listening to Soul Wanderings here on KGRARadio.com, and we'll be right back.
Hey, KGRA family, are you looking to show the world that you're a true believer? Well, shop now at thesaucerbrand.com. They've got something for the whole family. Jackets, hoodies, shirts, and hats, and so much more. And now's your last chance to use promo code KGRA for $10 off when you spend $50 or more at thesaucerbrand.com. Your new source for official and authentic ufology-inspired essentials made right here in the USA. And don't forget, use promo code KGRA at checkout and get $10 off when you spend $50 or more. Believe in style and elevate your craft at thesaucerbrand.com. And for those of you going to Contact in the Desert and Alien Con this year, Saucer will land at CITD May 31st through June the 3rd, and look for them at The Alien Con June 21st through the 23rd.
Around the world for decades have come high strangeness reports of mysterious aerial lights, beams, animal mutilations, human abductions, secret space and military programs focused on an alien presence. One reporter of these Earth mysteries is Emmy Award-winning TV producer, writer, and editor Linda Moulton Howe. She reports and edits the science, environment, and real X-Files news website, earthfiles.com.
We are moving from the paradigm that we are alone in the universe to a new one in which we are not alone. And something out there is interacting with us, our animals and plant life, forcing glimpses of other realities upon us.
Linda has produced 4 large books about these phenomena with hundreds of color images and illustrations that reviewers such as New York Times best-selling author Jim Marrs describes as an amazing accumulation of evidence. All her books, An Alien Harvest, the 2-volume Glimpses of Other Realities, and Mysterious Lights and Crop Circles, along with documentaries, are available in the shop at earthfiles.com.
Every 2 seconds, someone needs blood. Whether it's a natural disaster or one single child suffering from illness, the American Red Cross stands ready to supply blood when it's most needed. But blood is a perishable product. Therefore, it must continuously be replenished. You can safely donate blood every 56 days. The need is constant and patients are waiting. Call your American Red Cross at 1-800-GIVE-LIFE to schedule your life-saving appointment. Please give blood today. patients are depending on you.
Join me, George Norrie, in Indian Wells, California, for the 7th Annual Contact in the Desert UFO Conference, May 31st to June 3rd. Contact in the Desert is an epic weekend of adventure filled with exciting explorations into ancient aliens, human origins, crop circles, UFO sightings, disclosure, and the newest evidence of ongoing contact. This amazing weekend offers over 50 lectures, 40 workshops, 8 exciting panels, special events, and a luncheon that I'm hosting. Contact in the Desert also features leading experts including Giorgio Tsoukalos, David Wilcock, Linda Moulton Howe, Michael Tellinger, Eric von Daniken, Doc Wallach, and many more important researchers and scientists in the field. Contact in the Desert is your place for inside information. Join us at thecontactinthedesert.com to get your tickets today. It's time to make contact. That's contactinthedesert.com. Don't miss it. contactinthedesert.com.
Now you have the inside contact for alternative talk radio. The Planet. KGRAradio.com.
Welcome back to Soul Wanderings on KGRAradio.com. I'm AJ Rasmussen, your host of this amazing show. And our guest this evening is Rachel BluFox Aaron. She's a Reiki master teacher, light language communicator, multidimensional communicator, I should say. Yeah. We were talking, well, not we, you definitely were talking, Arcturian communication. So this is new for you.
Yeah.
And you actually, after figuring out who you were talking with, you received some downloads, information. What does that look like? And what did they share with you?
So they've basically just been telling me about their, like, how they play a part with Earth. So they are actually teaching me a new modality. Now that I've learned blue water magic, I'm learning a fire, and this is the first.
Are they in cahoots with the Pleiadians? Are they friends, or how does that work?
This is what's interesting is I was asking them this. I asked them the same exact question. That was like one of the questions. I was like, so you get, and this is what was interesting is, the one guide said we didn't always get along because the Pleiadians a little bit more free spirited, a little bit more kind of whimsical. The Arcturians are very serious. And so they had a lot of issues with like making decisions and like a lot of the council decisions and stuff. There was just like a lot of back and forth. So he said they didn't always get along. They said that there was actually a lot of like arguing and disagreements between the two just because. And what's funny is when the Arcturians have came through, when they're teaching, that they've been teaching me about vibrational and frequency healing. That's what this is all going to be related to. Is it's all vocalization, vibration, and tapping. Tapping is actually something that they've brought to this planet.
Ooh, I love tapping.
Yeah, tapping is something that they brought. So, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not the only one that knows this information. There's other people who have this information. It's just I'm starting to get all the information and I'm starting to piece everything together and say, oh, this is where this is coming from. Cool. This is they're trying to help people understand how interconnected everything is. So the more people understand that, like, it's not just us, the more they can think about their actions.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does to me. Yeah.
So, and also it helps you open your mind up to like, oh, wow, there's so much more that can assist us than just this one thing. There's so many more things that help assist us. But they were telling me that they specifically work with close with the Watchers, and I talked about the Watchers before on the show before, and I had some understanding of who the Watchers were, and they've been there since the beginning of this realm's creation.
Who are the Watchers? Where do they come from?
They are, they've had a lot of different names. So you've heard them as like the archangels.
Ah.
So they are the ones that are responsible for watching over this realm. They take care of this realm.
Mm.
And they also do communication through other star systems. And other star systems have some of their people working with the Watchers. They have councils with them to make sure that everything's running okay and correcting like issues between different systems and stuff. But they said that they assist in planetary decisions held by the Galactic Council in the Northern Hemisphere. That was the information that they gave me. And I was like, okay.
What do you do with that?
Yeah, I'm like, okay. And it's very matter of fact. They're just kind of like, this is what we do. But when they come through and they teach me the frequency healing, when I was doing some stuff with my sister, me and her work, because she's learning the light language as well.
Right.
And we were doing the frequency stuff, and me and her kind of were giggling, and they got mad. They straight up came through and they're like, this is
serious.
Yeah, they're like, this is serious. And I was like, me and her were both like, whoa, oh, okay. So then I was like, okay, I can see they're very serious about what they're doing. I mean, they want to see stuff get done and done right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'll run through a frequency tone and they'll make me do it. There was one day I did one tone probably 50 times. I'm working on myself because, like I said, I only work on myself first.
Right.
And then I work on other people because I have to be the guinea pig because I'm not going to do anything to anyone else.
I was a guinea pig.
You were a guinea pig. And people that I knew that were close, and you only got a little teeny tiny taste of what it was that I do.
Yeah, Rachel had me on the bed and was speaking this language. It was like 20 minutes. You're like, we're done. We're good. There's nothing else to work on here.
Well, you'd had a big session with my sister, too.
I had a massage with her before, yeah.
So I didn't have a lot to do. I think I was just more so there to...
I know, but it was just really cool because you're like, no, we're good. And I was like, finally a session where they were like, no, you're in a good place. You're awesome. I'm not giving you a full hour session.
It was only like 20 minutes, too.
Yeah.
It was funny. The other thing that they told me was that plants help stabilize free radical electromagnetics. So house plants.
So that was a need to know.
Yeah, so you want to have plants around because they help stabilize. If you have, when we're bombarded with electromagnetic fields with computers and TVs and whatnot, but the plants actually stabilize. You can also do frequency healing with plants. Plants actually have a communication. Heard it now.
I believe that. Well, people who grow plants or, garden, they say they talk to their plants.
I talk to my plants.
Yeah.
I now do this work with my plants. My one plant's huge now.
It's pretty cool. Go ahead.
I was going to say Reiki has the same effect.
Right. Any positive energy would.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what this is trying to teach you. It's just another tool to put more positive out. That's all it is. So
that's all it is. No big deal.
All it is. It's just, it's just another tool in a very massive, energetic tool chest that it's getting pretty big on me now. I'm like,
it is. You have a lot of, do I call them modalities? I'm not sure what you'd call them.
That's what I call them. But
tell me about the yellow ray, blue ray, and gold ray activation. That's something that you've talked about in the past.
So yellow ray is something that came through from one of the Watchers, and it deals with solar plexus, but it also deals with like personal power, but it's also solar energy. So what it does is it vibrates at a specific light frequency that it stabilizes the solar plexus. That's what yellow ray does. So, and the Watchers are the ones that gave that to me and it was for a specific class, and all my students got to learn it. We all got it, which was really, really cool. So the Blu-rays from the Arcturians, or I mean the Pleiadians.
I was going to say the Pleiadians, because that
Yeah.
goes with, it'd probably go hand in hand with your Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
Your blue water, I mean.
Mm-hmm. So it's a frequency, and it taps into throat chakra
Mm.
and all the other chakras. Because I mean, throat chakra is not just the throat; it's really advanced. So it involves like both sets of vocal cords. You know, the mouth, the tongue, the sinuses, ears. That's all throat chakra. That's all your communication.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes through and it rebalances that. There's another one that I do that's gold ray, and that one's a newer ray that's with the Earth shifting to 5D, we're getting higher vibrational rays. So you have your rainbow colors, but now we're getting into like gold, silver, crystalline, platinum, and those are all new rays that are getting downloaded into the Earth. I haven't received all of those though. Like they only just give me a ton of stuff, and I'm like, okay, guys, you got to chill for a second. But
Right.
you just like keep opening up, like you want more and more. And I'm like, I have to integrate so much. So
Right. It would make sense. I mean, I'm looking at your list of all of the things. Plus, I'm familiar with some of it because, you work with me. But there's just so much. Talk to me about being a key holder of the 4 directions. First, what are the 4 directions you're referring to, and what does it mean to be a key holder of them?
So the key holder of the 4 directions, it has to do with this work that I'm learning right now, which is the 4 elements. There's actually 5 elements because there's metal too. But the 4 directions. So what I've gathered from that through communication is I've done work with all systems that carry all of the different elements. And because I've done the work with them, I have the knowledge to perform the elemental work and bring it to Earth plane.
Mm.
And so seeing that I'm a key holder means I have access to that knowledge. But it's my responsibility to use and open that door and give it to the Earth plane. I'm not the only one that has that access, obviously.
How was that given to you?
From many, many years of spending time with all of these other multidimensional beings, learning healing modalities.
And are you able to pass it on to others?
Yes.
Mm.
So the blue water magic, actually, that's something that they told me now that I have all the knowledge of it and am integrating it. It's now my responsibility to teach it. The only thing is it has to remain pure. So only I can teach it. I don't know if there's going to be a few other people, but it's not going to be like Reiki where you can learn and then teach. It's going to be you
it's not
learn
gonna
it.
Be a manual.
Yeah.
Reiki's become a manual teaching, definitely.
Yeah, where like anyone can teach it. It's not going to be a modality like that. It's going to be you learn it, you can perform it, but you can't reteach it.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the only way that you keep it in a pure form. Because then it doesn't get muddled and changed a million times.
Right. Which
So-
Reiki has.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It does kind of, to me, Reiki is serious and it can be used for a lot of amazing things, but the way that it's been diluted,
Mm-hmm.
when I hear everybody, I'm a Reiki teacher, master teacher, Reiki level, whatever, you wonder how many people are taking this as serious as it ought to be treated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, that's not part of my journey, but it's a responsibility.
It is.
And to be working on your energy, let alone someone else's, that's a big responsibility.
Yeah. Well, and it's important that it's handled in a serious manner because people don't take it serious.
Mm.
There's a reason why
A lot of people don't. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are like, well, this is just stupid because they're seeing it not being taken serious. We need more applicable forms of it. They need to see how it does interject with the physical, They need to see the science behind it. I could have people come sit in the room with me and they can talk to the thousands of people. I've got the I have done the work. I've seen it work on so many people that it's like I can't say it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and people are like, well,
you've witnessed it.
I've witnessed it, right,
Yeah.
on myself too, because I went through it first, and then I said, wow, this is so profound for me. I need to bring this to other people and assist them. So that's it. It needs to be taken serious so it can be utilized as a positive tool instead of something that's like everyone's psychic and we're all, you know, and it's got so watered down that it's a joke. And it isn't a joke, though, because there's plenty of people that are very, very serious about this work. I'm one of them.
Right.
And that's why.
And that comes through. That's why you have such a large clientele.
Yeah.
It's not just you saying who you are and what you do. You actually show them through the work you do and the investigating and the research and the hands-on that you offer. It is serious for you, and you do take it as a responsibility in that right.
Right. And I also don't force it on people either.
Right.
You know, some people talk to me about it and they're like, well, I don't believe in it. I'm like, I don't care. I don't have anything to prove to you. And if it's something that doesn't resonate with you, you're not ready for it anyway. And that doesn't mean that you're a bad person or, you know, you're not as cool as me. You're just not ready for it. And I don't care. You have other stuff that you're doing. Focus on that stuff. Yeah. I'm focusing on the stuff that I know is important for me.
Right.
And I'm dedicating my time into it. I also do a lot of personal practice. And I think a lot of practitioners too. That's one of the big things is they get so thick. And I'm guilty. I was guilty of this when I first started is I got so fixated on helping everyone else. I didn't work on my connection and doing my work.
I think that's something we all do when we figure out, we actually have this ability. We want to just help so many people that we forget that we're the vessel in which this energy is flowing through. And we need to clean up our stuff too.
Yes.
Yeah.
If not more so than everyone else, because we're holding.
I learned that in the beginning myself. It's full of hard knocks.
Yeah, that was a hard one to learn.
Knocked me off my feet. Yeah.
I got really sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it happens. I think it happens to everybody. And if they're not saying they're not being honest because no human is that perfect.
No. And I know I'm not, you know, that's the other thing is a lot of people are like, oh, you've got this, you're so together. And I'm like, oh, I'm not by any means.
But I don't know if you want someone who's actually working on you who does have it all together, because not only the relatable factor of it,
right,
but energetically, you want someone you're equal or maybe just slightly above to help guide you to that level.
Well, that is all we are is guides.
Exactly.
We're not like saving people or,
right.
You know,
and we're not healing people either.
No.
Which is another misconception.
Yeah, that is a really. There's two things that I'm just gonna say this because these are the two things that absolutely drive me crazy. I'll be out and about and I discuss this with people, and the number one question that I get is, "Oh, will you read me right now?" And I'm like, "No, this is not the time. This is not the place. It's not safe for me to just open myself up and just if there's something that's vital that comes through, and I just walk up to someone and I tell them that's different. That doesn't happen that often." It's something very, very important if I get pinged when I'm out and being just a human. I have a job and I do my job and I do my job very well. But when I'm not doing my job, I'm not doing my job.
Right.
And I don't have anything to prove. I don't have to prove to people how psychic I am because that's not what this is about. It's not showing off. It's not a joke. This isn't like, ooh, let me prove to you how psychic I am. Because then you're diluting and you're disrespecting the energy. You're absolutely disrespecting it.
Mm-hmm.
And I take it super serious. So I'm just like, no, this isn't a joke. This isn't like, I don't just go around reading people. I know you guys love watching those TV shows where like people just go and read people.
I don't think that they're turned on the whole entire time either. I know, you know, every medium or psychic that I've ever met has an off switch. They've learned to use the muscle and they've learned to let it rest.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a lot of editing.
Process. Oh, yeah.
In those shows.
TV's awesome. That's why I don't watch it.
Yeah. So it's like they're showing them consistently doing all these. And I'm like, no, there's no way. There's no way because I do this and you can't. Well, and like I said, it's unsafe. The other thing that drives me crazy is people come in and they're like, "Oh, I hear that you can heal me," and I'm like, "What do you mean heal you?" And they're like, "Yeah,
you're their magic."
And I'm like,
hill.
it's not that simple. I mean, yes, you can clear and assist yourself through lots and lots and lots and lots of work.
Mm-hmm.
I can guide you towards what's going to be best by communicating with your higher self
Mm-hmm.
and tell you this is what's going to work best for you. But it's your choice to choose to do these things. But I'm not going to go and do all this work and all of a sudden it's like you're miraculously healed and you're just going to be like, oh, wow, one session and all of a sudden.
Well, and I think TV's done a lot for that too, because there is that, at least I've seen like on YouTube clips of it, certain healers, if you will, that will literally do that. That will literally physically heal somebody's body. Like with their laying on the hands or even long distance.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be done in that regards, but the kind of work that you're doing is the deep-rooted healing, the emotional healing, which then affects positively on the physical healing.
Right.
So it is different. It is a lot different.
Yeah, they think that this is like laying on of hands stuff,
right.
like Jesus stuff. That I'm going to touch them, and all of a sudden they're like their blind mother's going to, and I'm like, no, that's not what I do. That's not what I do. If that was the case, I wouldn't have this cataract in my eye, and I wouldn't have to wear glasses, and that'd be cool.
Yeah,
but that's not what I do.
Yeah. You would have figured out your wrist a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your social media, I noticed, is all down, completely down.
Yeah.
So if someone were interested in talking to you further in regards to all the things that we've shared or getting in touch with you for a service, you guys, she's moving to Vegas this week. So
Monday.
How could they get in touch with you?
So I'm going to be building a website and it's under construction with me moving and everything. You can email me at akitalightsky@gmail.com, and that's AKITALIGHTSKY@gmail.com. And you can email me directly and I'll get more information to you. But until my website's built, there's not going to be really any information because I removed myself from social media because it was sucking too much of my time and my life and it was making me mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just removed it because it's not beneficial to me at all. It was making me a worse person. So I had to
Well, you said that your emotional thing is anger. So there you go. You removed the trigger and you're a happier being for it.
So sorry, guys, that I'm not on social media, but I'm a much happier person. I'm sitting here looking at your sticker that says be happy.
Oh, on my laptop. Happy. It's been so awesome having you back to Soul Wander with us. It's much different of a wandering than the last time. So thank you for all of the new information and the downloads that you received that you were willing to share with us. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And I wish you the biggest success and happiness in your next chapter of life. I'm going to miss you to pieces.
No, I'll miss you too.
But I'm glad you're going to come back.
Yeah, I'll travel back to Ogden and I'll be in Henderson. So Henderson, Nevada.
So cool.
I'll find a place.
You will. You're going to wander throughout everywhere, and that's good.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Rachel.
Thank you.
Next week on Soul Wanderings, we have Dana Hurtado with us sharing her experiences as a medium, a psychic, and a spiritual teacher. Yes, another psychic medium friend, but they have such great shares, don't you think? So why not? Soul Wanderings can be found on all of the main social media platforms as well as soulwanderings.com. And make sure you guys are following KGRA Radio on all of the social media, Twitter, OnStellar, YouTube, Facebook. Share with your friends and family, and let's keep these conversations going with each other about all of the things. Thank you, everyone, for being here with us tonight, and a big shout out to my producer tonight, Race. You're the best. Thanks, everyone. Happy day.